Dear student, welcome back to the next unit, Transmission and Distribution Planning. In this unit, we will discuss the introduction and objective of transmission planning, network reconfiguration, system and load point indices, data required for composite system reliability, radial network, network reconfiguration, evaluation techniques, interruption indices, effect of lateral distribution protection, disconnect, protection failure, transferring loads. In last are distribution reliability indices. The electrical distribution is the final stage of the delivery of electricity to end user. A distribution system network carries electricity from the transmission system and deliver it to consumer. It is well known. Typically, the network would include medium voltage power lines, substation, pole-mounted transformer, low voltage distribution wiring such as service drop and sometimes meters. The modern distribution system begins as the primary circuit leaves the substation and end as the secondary service enters the consumer meter socket by way of service drop. Distribution circuit serve many customers. The distribution network are two types, radial or interconnected. A radial network leave the station and passes through the network area with no normal connection to any other supply. This is a typically of a long rural lines with isolated load areas. An interconnected network is generally found to more urban areas will have multiple connection to other point to supply. जो रेडियल नेटवर्क होता है इसके अंदर कोई नॉर्मल नो नॉर्मल कनेक्शन होता है, जबकि इंटरकनेक्टेड के अंदर इट इज हैविंग द मल्टीपल कनेक्शन टू पॉइंट टू सप्लाई. These point of connections are normally open but allow various configuration by the operating utility by closing and opening switches. Operation of these switches may be by remote control from a control center by a lineman. The benefit of the interconnected model is that in event of a fault or required maintenance, a small area of network can be isolated and the remainder kept on supply. Within these networks, there may be a mix of overhead line construction utilizing traditional utility poles and wires and increasingly underground constructions with cables and indoor or cabinet substation. However, underground distribution is significantly more expensive than overhead construction. In part to reduce this cost, underground power lines are sometimes co-located with other utility lines in what are called common utility ducts. Distribution feeder emanating from a substation are generally controlled by a circuit breaker which will open when a fault is detected. Automatic circuit reclosure may be installed to further segregate the feeder, thus minimizing the impact of fault. This is regarding the transmission and distribution planning. Now, the objective of transmission planning. In a regulated environment, the objective of transmission planning is to ensure the system reliability as high as possible. Relatively less economic concern is paid in the planning process required with that of a deregulated environment, because planners are usually not worried much about how to cover the investment. जो प्लानर्स होते हैं वो इस बात के लिए के बारे में ज़्यादा वरीड नहीं होते हैं कि किस तरह से इन्वेस्टमेंट को कवर किया जाएगा. द प्लानर आर एबल टू जनरेट alternative expansion plan based on all available historical data. The optional plans will then be tested by different scenarios to fulfill other objective and concern in planning. The accepted robust plan should be able to supply the load reliability under all the scenario and consideration. These are the basically objective of transmission planning. Thank you.